And welcome to Flamecast. I'm Todd Plitz, and today we have with us Chris Marler, who played a few different roles for us in a couple of different movies. Well, yeah.
Yep, two. I was the
Two
parent.
movies. You were in Yoda's Treasure as Anwin March. You were in Luke and Leia as the father figure.
Yep.
I don't know if we really gave you a title. I can't even remember the credits for that.
I think it was Offended Father or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, the first time... Do you remember the first time we actually met? Because I do.
Oh, no.
Vaguely. You probably don't remember this at all, but... see, I think I had only heard about you from, Chad and his group.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was one time after... 'cause Chad and I used to do... Chad Richter we're talking about. Chad and I used to do racquetball every once in a while. And one time after we were done with racquetball, Chad's like, "Oh, let's go upstairs to the computer lab. And there's a guy I'd like you to meet up there," and which was you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was describing you. He's like, "Yeah, he sits up there constantly, playing
Muds.
mudding games, and sits up there so long that he starts to stink and smell." I'm like, "Oh, great." Yeah, I remember meeting it, and you seem pleasant enough, and you didn't smell, so I'm like...
That's good to know. That's good to know.
But that I don't remember exactly the next time I met you, but...
It's all the mutual friends.
Yeah.
It's just in and out with Tina,
With
Chad, all that whole group.
Yeah.
It's just Peter and that whole little North Lodge thing.
Yeah.
So everybody was over there.
Yeah, it was probably somewhere in the North Lodge deal.
And that darn computer lab, I spent half my life there. Gal Trader and all the muds. Nightmare Mud and too much.
Actually, you probably never played it, but Matt Spielman, who played Darth Smiley for us, executive producer and such, he and his wife actually designed a mud.
Which one?
Oh, God, now you're going to...
Dun, dun,
Trying to
dun.
make me think of the name of this thing. And Matt's going to kill me because I can't remember. But I played it just a little bit for the most part, though I used it as a communication device with... Back then, of course, you didn't have, any instant messenger programs or any of that stuff, so... Yeah, we used it to chat and stuff instead.
I remember I got one of the old VAX computers at my house. I got one of the terminals there.
Yeah,
and I remember being able to read the letters as quickly as it came across on the phone line.
Oh,
so it was
boy.
like, hello, how are
gosh.
you? It was that slow. But I would do my mudding through that too. And if you ever lagged, you were dead. It was horrible. Too much mud.
At the time, I only had... Well, we had one computer in our place, and it was Dave Terpstra's.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I'd use that to connect to the VAX system and, go through mudding that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the good old days.
Good thing that I didn't get involved in the new ones. Those morps and everything are not
Yeah.
too addictive.
Actually, Travis Buckmeyer, he had tried to get me into one of those. And then I found out, you gotta pay monthly for this? I'm like, screw that. So, I never got into it any more than that. So
Ultima Online.
Yeah, I'm not even sure which one he was playing.
EverQuest, I think, was the first really big one. Can't remember.
Yeah. You actually went to high school in Winona as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever brought this up, but do you know Amy Chapletsky?
Yes.
Okay. Do you realize that I know her?
Mm-mm. No.
She is actually Sean's godmother.
No, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were working at EMD at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
which is now benchmark in Winona. But, yeah, we were working the same time there, and it turned out that, well, Sean is born, and, we had kind of hung out together every once in a while, and, we're acquainted with each other anyways. And, for baptizing Sean in the Catholic Church, which I'm no longer a part of, one of the two people had to be a confirmed Catholic. It's like, okay, my older brother was living down in Florida at the time, so he was out. My sister is no longer Catholic. She was Baptist. She was out. My younger brother was too young to be a godparent for that particular role. He ended up being a godparent, but you have to be a certain age as well. So we had him as a third godparent type of thing.
Prerequisites.
Yeah. But he didn't qualify to be that main Catholic person. So I'm like, so Amy's Catholic. There we go. It's like, we've run out of options. Amy, come on. But yeah, in small world. Mm-hmm. But, because, we tried setting Amy up with some of our friends, which didn't go too well.
Matchmaker.
First we tried, do you remember Mark Dronin?
I don't think I do.
Okay. He was in...
I remember, sometimes I lose the last names of people. I remember a tall Mark.
Nah, he wasn't. He wasn't tall. He was, gosh, did we have, I'm trying to think of the hierarchy that we had in InterVarsity. But, he was the leader of InterVarsity for a year. But you probably wouldn't know him from that either. But, anyways, that one didn't work.
Didn't work.
Then we tried Travis.
Oh, Mr. Travis.
And that one didn't work. And she refused to meet any more of my friends to go out with.
Oh, just the two.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, we're not going for strike three. So.
I hear that.
But, of course, we also had the connection with one other person, which happens to be our wife now.
Oh, yeah, Tina.
Tina, so.
Tina, yep. It's Jedi number 5.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it in the last Flamecast, but yeah, she was in the one house on Broadway. Wasn't it Broadway? Mm-hmm. With Signe and my wife Rachel. She wasn't my wife yet. We were engaged.
That was only like 2 blocks away from where I lived all the way through college too.
Oh, really?
Across and a little bit farther west. Really close.
Okay.
Didn't find that out until like after we started dating, of course. He's like, yeah, I used to live right over there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Went over there quite a few times. So, yeah. You've probably heard stories about the house too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've heard stories about throwing things and very interesting stories,
yeah. Some probably involving Rachel, but we won't get into those again.
Some involving
I don't know if Rachel's listened to these at all, but she'll probably be like, quit talking about me. So, but yeah, eventually, years later when we got to talking about making a fan film, like, okay, we're going to grab people that we know, and we're not going to get professionals. People that, just our group of friends anyways. Or people that I know anyways. Yeah. So yeah, that's the way we did it, and I asked you and Tina to be in it, and you guys, as far as I can recall, you're all like, yeah, sure.
Do it right away.
Yeah.
Until we got to a foot of snow on the lake.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the way to do it, though. You get the hard shots done first, so that it can only get better from there.
That was a lot of snow.
Yeah, we do the winter scene, the very first shots that we do, and after that it was all summer shots.
Yes.
And you also had the benefit when we filmed you in Winona. We went up to the same outlook area, cliff area, that we shot the Darth Smiley footage. Mm-hmm. I went up there with Matt earlier than I did with you.
You told me about this.
Because, we took the other way to get up there, and it was more of a 45-degree hike to get up there, and we took the much, not a more direct route, but an easier route to take to get up there for getting you guys up there.
Yeah, it wasn't bad going up that time, but they can get nasty.
Plus, we had some more reasonable temperatures, too.
I remember you saying it was really hot.
Yeah,
man.
Hot and humid. It was really bad. But yeah, for you guys, it was pretty decent. And I think we had talked about this when we were doing the scene up there, but you never smoked at all.
No.
And the scene with you at the top called for you kind of finishing off a cigarette and flicking it out and stuff. Mm-hmm. We ended up lighting it too.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the people who watch that and know me, they always say, "You smoked?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, but we made it look that way.
But we had to do it because it was part of the joke, because earlier we had filmed the scene where you're trying to levitate the cigarette between your hands, which is kind of a throwback to what Silent Bob does in Mallrats. So.
Yep.
But you'll never believe what I came across yesterday, of all things. I was kind of long story here, but I'm working on my pool table pockets, and because they were falling apart, I cut out some new leather and stuff. Well, I got to put new rivets in the thing, and I know I've got a leather punch. Last time I had used it, it was on my Jedi costume, actually, which you ended up wearing for Yoda's treasure. Went and found the leather punch, but in that same box, there was a bag in there. I look in the bag, and lo and behold, in one of the plastic bags, there was the cigarette butt that you had actually used. I cannot believe I saved that thing. Yeah, I'm like, gosh, we could stick it on eBay.
How about Planet Hollywood? Oh, wait, that's already gone, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well. That's funny.
So, yeah, you were Anwin March in the picture, and Hoth experiences, any instance that stands out in your mind on
I think
filming?
Corey wearing shorts. Wasn't he the one who was wearing shorts?
Oh, my God, was he wearing shorts?
He had a coat and shorts on.
Oh, man.
And then
see, no wonder he complained about the cold.
And then with it was so funny because he was complaining so much about it at the end, and it's like, dude, man, you have shorts on.
Yeah, the guy never wears pants. There's only been a few times where he's worn pants, and that's been, we have him as Savannah, my youngest daughter. We have him as the godfather for her, and for the baptism ceremony, he actually dressed up, wore pants, and otherwise I can't remember another time where he's worn pants.
And then there was so much snow that it got so thick that you couldn't even see the other side of the lake.
Yeah.
That actually worked well in the filming, though. So,
well, we had two cameras going. Cora was using one, and Chad was using the other camera. I can't remember who was using Matt's camera. But we had Wade's camera and Matt's camera. Wade's camera, it looks like a total blizzard. Mm-hmm. But you look at the same footage through Matt's camera, and you can actually see the other side of the lake. It's like, okay, we don't want trees in the background because Hoth has no trees. At least that we know of.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, which footage are we going to use? We're going to use the whiteout. So, so I think for all the Hoth footage, we ended up using the footage from Wade's camera then. Yeah, a little interesting backstory there. Then we've got the forest scenery that we shot.
For some of that, I wasn't there. I remember that. Then you had to kind of insert me because you and I got together, and
Right.
And so, like, there's a lot of scenes
I think
where
you were there for the initial stuff that we shot, but then when we shot stuff for, well, I know when we shot stuff for,
after finding the figure.
the sci-fi writer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was in Farmington, but...
was there when we first landed on the planet and going up the hill when Adi Krimnazari got heat stroke because he had his, his hat on and it wasn't breathing.
Yeah, the
well
shower
enough.
cap, he was getting lightheaded and stuff because it was kind of warm. And then we had our piece of styrofoam that we were using as the one side of it was all foil to kind of redirect the light.
Yes.
And whoever that light was shining on was getting extra heat.
Yep. It was nice heat.
Yeah.
Collecting acorns so that we could throw them.
Yeah, we had acorns collected from Rachel's aunt and uncle's cabin. I had Sean and one of his cousins go and collect all these acorns, and his cousin always gives me crap. He's like, "Yeah, we collected all those acorns for you, and we never got credit in the movie." It's like, well,
could have called them the Acorn Wranglers.
Yeah, I could have. Because I had counted lighting in there. I credited Sheldon, another friend of ours. Actually, he went to Winona High School too, didn't he?
Sheldon, last name.
Lass. Is that how you pronounce it, Lass? He's gonna kill me if he ever hears this. L-A-S.
L-A-S? Lass?
Yeah, Lass.
Sheldon Lass. I don't remember.
Because he would have been same year as me, I believe. So 1 year younger than you.
There's I knew 3 Sheldons, but I can't remember a Lass.
Red hair. No.
Hi, Sheldon.
Yeah. But, we had him in charge of kind of lighting. Well, he was the one holding the styrofoam board. And, we had him doing that for the Haas scene, and it was like, there was no sunlight that day. I mean, it was snowing. So basically, he was holding up this board and that.
Was that, whose farm was that? Wasn't that a farm, or whose house was that at?
That was Rachel's uncle's.
Oh, okay.
David Lexfold.
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, when he couldn't make it for the shoots that we did at the farm there, in the trees and stuff. So we credited Sheldon and a bush in the woods or something.
Oh,
like
I remember. Yeah, it was a bush in the woods. Yeah. But the bush did very well. It held that.
Yes, it did.
To balance it.
Yeah, he got a raise. I think the most memorable part of those scenes that we shot there was probably when we had the dramatic footage from you. When you found out that Darth Smiley was your sister.
Funny.
No, not my sister. And then they dragged you into a tree. And
that was the best one. You dragged me right into the tree. Yeah, that was fun. I love the outtakes in that one. That's just the best.
Yeah. Well, the outtakes on the Farmington shoots were pretty good, too.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the train in the background and such. And we actually had Arlen running the camera.
Yep.
For those scenes. So. Did a pretty good job. So we finished up Yoda's Treasure, got that out of the way, and I had written up another script starring you and Tina and Travis.
What was the flying car one, wasn't it? Or
no? No, this one was pretty much based on Clerks, and I was just going to use a normal convenience store setting. I wasn't going to make it futuristic or anything, but I was going to still have you guys in like Jedi robes and everything. Which now I think about it, it's like, no, I should have had you guys in a maybe like someone's already done that. I mean, I don't know if you've seen look up Trooper Clerks.
Oh yeah,
sometime.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen Trooper Clerks.
And they kind of had the same idea. But, I mean, theirs was a little spot on the Death Star that they were operating from. And that would have been good, too, but I think we came up with the idea at about the same time. They just finished before I even started doing anything. I had the script written up, and that was about it.
I remember talking about
it. Because, yeah, Tina would be in the first part with you, and then the second half you would be with Travis and talking about stuff. And, yeah, we just never got around to filming that. And Travis had moved away at about the point that I was writing this.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens, and we haven't just made it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, because I tried to get Travis back again for Luke and Leia, which I was going to have you in along with him, and trying to get him back, it just wasn't working.
Luke and Leia, that was 10 years ago now, wasn't it?
No, Luke and Leia's, I did that, was that 5 years ago? Might have been 5 years ago.
I can't remember.
I know. I should really know this stuff, but I can't.
We were at Chula, right?
Yeah. We shot that at Chula Vista.
I left Chula 8 years ago.
Well, but you still had connections there, so yeah. Yeah, the background for the idea there, that one came from the flying car.
Yeah.
The dialogue there, and at first I was thinking, yeah, we'd do the same type of deal where we'd have it in a vehicle and two guys talking, and I'm like, well, I don't want to get that close to the flying car. Let's have it in a different setting. Plus, would eliminate a lot of the problems that I would have trying to shoot the thing. You know, then you're dependent on the weather again. You also got to deal with the glare from the windshield, and so you'd probably have to use some type of filter on the lens and all that. I'm like, no, let's go with a different setting. Enter your restaurant, or your connections to a restaurant, and there we go. Because I think I was also considering maybe Applebee's, because I think you were at Applebee's at the time.
That's right. Yep.
But Chula worked out.
Chula worked fine. I remember that. We probably could do it at an Applebee's now that I'm in charge of this one.
Yeah. Now that we've already done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, you were supposed to be one of the leads there. Wasn't working out, and I couldn't think of another person to be opposite you that was about the same age that would have worked. So I'm like, okay, whatever. What are the options that we have then? And I can't remember how I came up with it, but maybe I'd asked around and ended up getting one of my nephews, one of my sister's kids. And that was Mitchell Fratsky. And friend Alan Carlson, which I don't know if you knew Alan from prior to that, but another Winona State graduate anyways. But his son was about the same age, still in high school at the time though, but he worked well for that role, so I actually auditioned him because I wasn't sure exactly how he would do in the role, but I thought he actually did pretty well. So we got those two, and what was it? A couple days before we were supposed to shoot, found out that Mitchell was getting his wisdom teeth pulled.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, crap, we got to move this back again, because we had moved it back so far anyways. And Mitchell's like, well, Marshall, his twin brother, he is available. He'd be able to do it. I'm like, okay, well, we'll give it a try.
Similar looks.
Yeah. So we threw him in, and granted, it was almost a last-minute thing, but with that kind of notice, I thought he did a pretty decent job.
There were two other people. Your son was in that one. Sean was with me, right?
Sean was actually your son in the movie.
Who was there was a server, too.
Yes, that was Abby Fratsky, who was Mitchell and Marshall's cousin.
Oh, okay.
So, not related on my side. It was my brother-in-law's side over there. So yeah, she was the server. We were supposed to have Tina as your spouse, Sean's mother, and
she wasn't there though, was she?
She was not there. When you showed up for shooting that day, you had said that she wasn't feeling well, so she stayed behind.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked, and it's kind of sorry to see that she wasn't going to get into the film, but granted. And after that, I guess when we did the next one, Connect More, I went a different direction with our cast in that one. Because two guys from the cities that I knew, and totally different circle of friends over there, so
I wasn't really involved in that one.
And no, the crew on that one is really limited. Actually, the camera person for that one was one of Rachel's cousins, Elizabeth Lexchel. And Corey was supposed to be our sound guy and run the boom mic. And we got a different camera for this one. And there was no audio jack on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to record the audio separately on a laptop and then sync them together when we got everything put together. However, the audio going through the laptop, it was all distorted and crap. We could not clean it up for the life of us. And I even tried that for trying to get the first podcast done, and still couldn't get it to work. So hence we're using the audio from a camcorder right and just stripping the video off of it, and
it works.
It works.
It works.
Audio's probably not the best, but it works.
Yeah.
Ever do something different? Well, I probably could get two. Well, I think there is an audio input jack in this thing. I could probably get two mics and hook it up into this and get the same deal, but
sure. Use what we have.
Yeah. And with the budget that I do things with, which is zero.
Yeah, exactly.
We get by pretty well.
You have a lot of fun doing it. That's the whole thing.
As far as what we're doing in the future, I have no freaking clue. I mean, I've had ideas and written up stuff, but I actually did come up with two new ideas. One of them would be pretty involved, and we could still do it in probably the same location we shot the forestry stuff for Yoda's treasure at. But again, that requires more people than we've had for the last couple of ones, anyways.
Well, with the new crew we're putting together, maybe we have more people. Because if we can get the two gaming groups together, that's about 10 people there.
Possibility.
So we might be tapping into more resources, and then, like Eric's wife might, and I mean, there's more things that are happening now which could help.
That's true. One of the ideas I had, and I had mentioned it before, but making a kind of a sequel to Yoda's Treasure.
That would be fun.
It would be fun, but again, trying to get the same group of people back again, I kind of doubt I'd get Dave Terpstra back.
But Travis?
Yeah, not to mention Travis.
You'd probably be able to. You'd probably be able to get us.
Mark. We could get Mark. We killed off Tina,
You could do something like, and now for something completely different.
What I was gonna say, the idea I had with her that I have written down anyways for a partial script, and I talked about this in the last one, but so it's, if we ever do film this, it would be no surprise, but for the people who haven't listened to the Flamecast, get the right word in there. Yeah, this would be a surprise if they haven't heard the prior stuff. But they would, they'd all gather together again and be like, well, we're one person short. And because Jedi number 5 had died. And so we're like, well, we need a replacement then. How are we going to do that? Well, they end up having auditions themselves that we're filming. And we get a few different varieties of people that are auditioning for the Jedi number 5 part. Second to last one being Tina, dressed up in the same stuff and everything. And she starts giving her line, and as soon as she starts, like 2 words out of her mouth, they're like, okay, thank you. It's like totally cutting her off, and she's like, well, wait. And they're like, nope, thank you. Because she's, of course, perfect for the role, because it's her again. But, yeah, we could figure out some other way to bring her back, too.
Jedi number 5.1. 5.1.
5.1. Could always come back as a ghost as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's always a possibility. Yeah. Strong in the Force, she is.
Yeah. We've had experience with creating ghost images, because we did that with Elmo.
Yep.
In the first one.
Master Elmo.
Yes. And we still have Elmo. We could bring him back as well.
He was down there on your shelf.
Yes. He's guarding my all of my Star Wars DVDs, actually.
There you go. That works.
And there was another idea that I had as well. And I wrote an email to myself, and I can't remember what I wrote now, so I got to go back to my email and figure out what was my idea that I had about
the moment of brilliance that you have to remind yourself about.
Yeah, that's the thing. I get ideas at work, and it's like, okay, I don't have time to write now. Write an email to myself. I'll open it up at home, read it, and go from there. Well, I haven't gotten to that email yet.
There's too many.
So, yeah, the future's up for grabs, and see what we can do there. In the meantime, yeah, we're doing the Flamecast, and it's a new avenue to kind of take right now, but
it would be nice to try to do another one. It really would.
Yeah.
But getting them all together, it's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Trixie.
And I think, because right now I'm taking classes through the Rochester Community College down there, which is filling up a lot of my free time. So I think once I'm done with that, which should be about a year, I'll have a lot more time to, devote to doing another film. Although at some point I'd really like to do another film that has nothing to do with Star Wars as well. And as far as what that'd be, who the heck knows? I can't think of it.
Just have fun with it.
Yeah. It'd be nice to do something original. Writing stuff, and then filming and directing it myself. I can't see myself doing someone else's work. I know Chad has suggested in the past some ideas of his, and I don't know if he meant for me to write something with those ideas in mind, but I kind of threw it back into his court saying, give me some more details or write something up, and then it kind of died there. So,
yeah, have him follow up.
Yeah.
Get him out here sometime, or else maybe if he's at your thing next month, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I have talked to him about doing a Flamecast as well, so maybe we can flesh that out in one of the Flamecasts, get some ideas and such. But next one, it'd be nice to get a bunch of the same people back, and like you said, add some more. Some of these other people that are actually here today. So, and eventually, what I'd like to do with the Flamecasts, we're kind of going with, each person that's been involved in the films and doing an interview. Eventually, get to the point where, okay, we've done everyone, and I'll go back to, what's been recorded before, maybe pick one or two people and keep the Flamecast going, but we can talk about whatever. Instead, it doesn't necessarily have to be, the films that we've been working on and such. But pick two people that have worked well with the Flamecast, and so you don't know it right now, but you're being judged. Dun, dun, dun. So I think any parting words?
Parting words. Stay thirsty.
I actually am thirsty right now. God. After talking and stuff for like 30 minutes, it's like
It's all good. It was fun to do, and we'd look forward to doing it again. It was enjoyable.
Okay. So that's I can't really say for this week, but actually the last couple of ones now we've almost been monthly.
Oh.
We could do it more often than that, but in any case, that's this episode's worth of Flamecast. And I'm Todd Pletz.
And I'm Chris Marler.
And that's a wrap.
Bye-bye.